Hi guys, this is Shayna from YumiYarns.com, and today I thought I would show you how I fill out a hobby bullet journal. We're gonna start with a knitting one. Well, we're gonna use a knitting one. That's just the front of my book, and this is just a normal journal that I got, and I'm just kind of customizing it to what I need, using things from the standard bullet journal method and then other things that I've just picked up along the way that I know kind of help me with keeping track of everything. So I've got kind of a cover page here, and I was having fun using up a bunch of random stickers and things that I have. So that's all those are. And then I set up index pages. So what I did initially before I wrote anything on here was I went through and counted how many blank pages I have back here, because this is a journal that I had from years ago. It's actually got some gardening notes at the very beginning, but I wanted to use up stuff that I had, and I love this journal, and I am not as into gardening as I am into knitting, and so I thought this would be a good one, a good way to actually use it. So what I did was I counted out the pages that I had empty back here, and basically each page will be space for one project. So I knew how many lines I would need, and this is essentially just like each page number. If you were going to take more than one page for your project entries, you would obviously have less than I do, and it also depends on the size of your journal. So like I said, since this one wasn't brand new out of the box, that's why I had to count the pages and couldn't just take the number that they had listed. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. Basically what I have is index. I just did some little decorations with washi tape because I've learned that if I make things too in-depth and complicated, I don't use them. But I do like having some cute little decorations. So that was just simple little things I could do with washi tape to kind of make the pages a little bit cuter. And as you can tell, I don't have perfect handwriting, which is totally fine because this is for me and not for the world. I mean, except for now in this video. But what I have, this might seem kind of weird, but this is kind of my checkoff system. So essentially my index, as I go through my projects and find old whips and things like that, I'll be adding those projects into my journal so that I can keep track of what they are and where they are and everything that way. And then I write the project that I'm working on here next to the number that the project is. So you'll see I've got the Perpetual Hope shawl that I started with my Advent kits. And then I've got the project page over here, and it's project number 1, and I've got all the information that I need for it. Again, with just the cute little washi tape stuff. And what this is the dot means that I have all the supplies, and I forgot one slash through it. So the dot means I have all the supplies, a slash through it means it's in progress, so it's a whip. And then when it's all done, I'll complete the X so I know it's done. But this way, as I'm kind of going through and cleaning up some old projects and things, I can keep a running list of what things I have the supplies for, what things I've started, things like that. I know not everybody works this way, but like when I buy yarn, I almost always have an exact pattern or plan in mind for it. So I have a lot of kits in my craft room that literally all it is just a bunch of yarn. But I know what it is, and so this is kind of a way for me to get those ideas out of my head and keep track of them on paper. And yeah, just kind of track what I have, and that way when I finish a project, if I'm not sure what I want to work on, I can come back and reference this list and be like, oh, I only have sleeves left on that thing. Oh yeah, I forgot I bought that yarn for that one. I really wanted to start that project. So it's just kind of a easier way to keep track of what I have going on and what I want to have going on. So that's the index, and that's what's going on with this guy. And as you can see, this book is going to last me for a little while. And like I said, kind of the beauty of doing the bullet journal method is you really can control what you include and what you don't. I tend to not need a whole lot of space for notes. Other people make a lot of modifications and changes and want to track every little thing they do, so you might need 2 pages. You might need more than that. That's why I didn't go through and write project number 1, project number 2, everything like that. Because even though right now I'm pretty certain I'll only need 1 page for each project, and that's how I set up my index, if going forward, if I have a project where I do make a ton of modifications and everything, and I do end up needing another page, I can still do that without throwing off all my stuff, And that's kind of what's nice about having the bullet journal set up like this, where you only use the pages that you're actively using, if that makes sense. So first one, we had the Perpetual Hope shawl. And then I've got the designer when I started it. I'll fill in the end date when I finish it. The needles that I'm using. I know since it's an advent kit, Mary does stress that you should have done a gauge swatch to make sure that it worked, but I don't necessarily follow things with shawls. So I just put NA, because if I run out, I'll just fudge it and it'll be fine. Kind of seeing how the pattern's going right now, I'm not too terribly worried. It'll be good. I don't have a finished size. I'm going to fill that in once I'm done and it's blocked. And then same thing with the yardage. I'll weigh it and fill that in once it's all finished. I'm using my Queen City Advent minis. And I wrote supplies because instead of just yarn, because sometimes you have a pattern that uses beads or waste yarn or different things like that that you might want to include in the supplies list. This is a pretty basic shawl, and so I didn't feel the need to add a ton more things. I just wanted to include which yarn I was using. And then my notes are just kind of little reminders to me, obviously. So, I'm kind of just using this one as a reward for when I do things that I don't really want to do. And I'm basically working half a clue at a time on it, just because they're 20-gram minis, and I basically give myself like a reward day when I finish something that I wasn't wanting to do. So I only really want 1 day's worth of knitting at a time on this. And then I move on to my next goal thing, since I'm kind of using this as a reward project. But I figured since I've got a new project that I cast on, I thought it would be fun to fill this out with you and show you kind of how I do the simple washi tape and everything else. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. So we're gonna get started. You'll notice I don't do fancy lettering with my stuff. If you want to, you can. I know a lot of people have a lot of fun with it. It's a good way to practice calligraphy if you're into calligraphy. I used to do a lot of calligraphy stuff, and I still enjoy it sometimes, but it's not quite where my favorite area of it's not my favorite way to spend my time right now. That's what I'm trying to say. So I would rather just get the stuff out that I need to have out and make my planner useful and easy and accessible for me. So I'm gonna get started with our header. Project 2. nice and easy. You'll notice I didn't use rulers or anything like that. I just kind of eyeballed where I figured about halfway down the page would be. Like if I had an imaginary line right here, that's just kind of where I put these ones to kind of split those areas in half. Same thing, it's probably not exactly on center, but I'm not too concerned. And then I picked out this one for the design here. And this is a brand new roll of washi tape, so I'm actually going to just rip it kind of at an angle and get rid of that little top piece. And then what I've been doing is kind of just measuring and taking about 3/4 of the length that I need, like 1/2 to 3/4, ripping it off. And then I kind of like just the torn look that I was getting with it, so I just split it in half that way. And then this is the even edge, the not torn edge right here, so I've been using that along the bottom and kind of, oops, getting it close to the word but not like right on top of it, obviously. And then this one, this is the flat edge on this one, so that's going to be along the top. And then I just put that one closer over here. So it's just kind of cute and scrappy, and I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun. Cute, easy way to add some color and variety and not make it too terribly difficult, because you don't want it to be a pain to set up each of your journal entries. You want it to be something easy and fun. If you like doing a lot of drawing and line work and lettering and stuff like that and want to spend more time, like if you want to incorporate that into part of your process for getting your projects set up, go for it. This is just what I know works for me, because right now I am just kind of at a busy point in my life whoops, with everything. And I know if I make it too difficult, even though I like spending time drawing and doodling and all the things, if I make it too difficult, make it take too long, I'm not going to do it. So this is nice and easy. And with this one, I just measured along the bottom and did a little over half, around half for the length, and tore it lengthwise in half again. And now I'm just adding it in, kind of matching up the bottom there. Oh, and that worked out well with the dots actually lining up. Sometimes it happens that way, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, so it's just kind of cute and fun and super easy. And then I'll go through and fill this out and then flip back to my index and add it into my index on project number 2. And since I have this one and I actually started it already, I'll be able to add a dot and a slash there. But yeah, so that's how I've been setting up my project journals. I set up one for each of my hobbies this year so that I can kind of keep track of things and stay motivated to work on stuff, and just kind of keep track of everything, because there's a lot going on right now. But I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it's helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below if you use a journal to track your projects, or if you do it online, or if you use a digital planner system. I'm really curious how everybody keeps track of their stuff, because that's one of the ways that I learned how to do some of this, and what works best for me is I watch a lot of bullet journal YouTubes. And just kind of getting ideas from other people is so helpful, because you never know what's going to work best for you until you see it or you think it up and try it. But yeah, so let me know in the comments what you guys think, what your methods are. If you want to, you can like this video, subscribe to the channel. I try to post a video every Tuesday with a different crafty tutorial thing. Most of them are knitting. This one's kind of knitting adjacent, but I thought it was kind of helpful and that you guys would like it. But yeah, I hope you have a great day and happy knitting and happy planning. Bye.